Hello, I'm Self-Care Samantha, and welcome to my newest series, What the Hell Does That Mean? This is a series where I take words that are constantly thrown at us that seem to have weird or hard to grasp definitions, but they actually have specific definitions, and the better you understand that word, the easier it is for you to implement that thing into your life. So today's word is going to be confidence. So the first thing I want to tell you about confidence is that it does not mean esteem. Okay, and of course, because this is a self-care page, we're going to be talking about self-confidence. So let's write that over here. Self. Okay. So confidence has a root word. All words do. I personally love etymology more than I love the dictionary because etymology gives us the actuality of the word. Why do we have this word? Where did it come from? And in our modern day language, we often misuse words, or they have been repurposed and we use them interchangeably with other words that don't actually mean the same thing. Okay, so the first is this the first or the second thing I want to show you? So the first thing I want to tell you about confidence is that it does not mean, that is a lot of lines there, esteem. Okay, esteem is something completely different than confidence. So yes, these two words work together, but they are not the same thing. Okay, so confidence, I want you to think about this word for a second. Okay, what's another way we use confide? I confide in you. You are my confidant. Okay, fee is the root word of confident, and it specifically means trust. This is hugely important. Over many years of my life, I used to hear this from people and they'd be like, you just need to build a little confidence. And I'd be like, what does that mean? And then they'd be like, and then they make a bunch of word soup and I'd be like, that can't be what confidence means. Okay, so I started looking into the etymology of what is confidence. And I found out it specifically means trust. Okay, so when I confide in you, I'm trusting you. If I am your confidant, I am your trusted source or trusted ears. Okay, when something is confidential, it's trusted between only you and the person that it's confidential with. Okay, trust. So when we're thinking about building our own self-confidence, what we're really building is trust within ourselves. Okay, so how do you build trust within yourself? Well, ironically, it's the exact same way that you would build it with any other person. You show up when you say you're going to show up. You do the thing you said you were going to do. When you make a promise to yourself, you follow it through. If you watch my last video and we talked about the grit board, that's a great way for you to create trust with yourself. Because over the board that you created for yourself in the last video, you would have things that you're going to do every day. And the more times that you check off your little thing that you did for the day for your self-care, the more you're going to trust yourself. Okay. The more times you do those little check marks too, and you start to recognize in your gut, like, I didn't do that thing. I start to feel really bad about it. You'll realize it's because I broke trust with myself. Good news, it's a lot easier to build trust with yourself. Rebuild trust with yourself than it is with somebody else. Okay. So confidence means trust. Self-confidence means trusting yourself. Okay. So I want you to remember that. Okay. This alone, learning this changed my whole world. Okay. And now I have this thing that I like to do when I talk to people. And if I recognize them as trying to sort of lecture or whatever, and they bring up confidence, I say, well, what does confidence mean? And a lot of the times they say, well, they roll their eyes super far back and they say, well, it obviously means to feel good about yourself. I'm like, no, it doesn't. It does not. It means that you trust yourself. And sometimes in the situation that you have to do things, you do have to trust yourself, even if you don't like it. So that means that sometimes trusting yourself doesn't necessarily feel good. So it's not correct to say that confidence just is about feeling good about yourself. No. It means you trust that you are making the right decisions. You trust your morals and values, and you know that you're in the right path, even when it doesn't feel good. Okay. So when we hear people talk about confidence in the bedroom, that means they're owning how they look and they love the way they feel in their body, and their partners are like, wow, I admire your confidence in the bedroom. If you are a speaker like myself, you want to speak knowing what you're saying. You studied, you know the words, you know how to spell confidence, and you trust yourself to share this information outward. If you're a great cook, you have confidence in the kitchen because you know how to cook a meal. If you are a great writer, you are confident in your ability to use language. If you are a confident, parent, you trust your ability to guide your kids into a good direction in life. Okay? It doesn't always mean feel good, but it does always mean trust. Okay? Let's write those other words so you don't forget. Okay, confide, confidant. Okay, these words all mean trust. So I hope this helps you a little bit. I hope you can build self-confidence, understanding that it means trust and not esteem. And if you want to know what esteem means, you should come back for my next episode of what the hell does that mean, because I'm going to break down esteem in the next one already. Okay, go out there, trust yourselves, care for yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.